Hey everyone, it's Jen. Welcome back to Yarn Purpose. Today it's time for another coffee catch-up. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Jen. Got the coffee. It's possible this came from Starbucks and I just poured it into this cup to make it look like it came from home. But it definitely came from Starbucks. It was just one of those days. So today I have a lot to catch you up on. I have some whips. I don't have any knitting finished objects to show you, but I do have a whip. I'm going to talk a little bit about my upcoming knitting plans. I feel like I had kind of lost my knitting mojo a little bit over the last couple months, I think as evidenced by the lack of coffee catch-ups and the fact that there's been very little knitting in them. But I am starting to get my knitting mojo back, and so I feel like I'm sort of making some plans on what I want to be working on over the next couple months. So I'm going to talk about that. I am going to talk about some cross stitch and the books I've been reading, and then at the end I will wrap it up with a little bit of work. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I wanted to do though is I wanted to tell everybody about the winner of the Manos del Uruguay yarn. So if you missed that video, I will link it down below. A couple weeks ago I did a video on this Manos del Uruguay Alma yarn, and I knit and crocheted a swatch, and then very sneaky like at the end of the video I said if you wanted this other skein, be subscribed and leave a comment. And so I only had 7 comments on there, but I did go ahead and pick a winner. The winner is Deborah Davis, and I'm going to just go ahead and insert my little video of me picking the winner here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pick the winner from my giveaway. So this was my URL here. Get YouTube comments. There were 7 comments I checked up here on the video that was correct. I'm going to scroll down here and let's see who won. Deborah Davis. She says, I think that yarn would make a lively cowl. And she's Sock Knitter on IG. Well, congrats, Deborah. So I'm going to go ahead and send you a message on Instagram, and I will get that yarn out to you. So congrats, Deborah. I have replied to your comment here on YouTube, and then also, since you did give me your Instagram name, I sent you a message over on Instagram. So be sure to get back to me and I will send you this lovely yarn. And yeah, if you missed the video, be sure to go check it out. Spoiler alert, I really like this yarn. So that's that. I will have another giveaway coming up, not in this video, but I do have a book that I'm going to be taking a look at in a couple weeks, and I am going to go ahead and give away that copy at the end of the video. So just make sure that you stay tuned to the end of the video. Well, I don't have a giveaway in this one, but you should still stay tuned. But in some of those videos where I'm trying new yarn or looking at books that I haven't looked at before, not in every single one, it just kind of depends, but in some of them I am going to start giving away the extra yarn or the book. So yeah, that's that. Okay, so that was really all the housekeeping. So life stuff, over the last month, it's just been kind of standard. My husband and I traveled up to Fargo, North Dakota to visit my brother and his family for a long weekend, so that was always fun. I got a lot of, well, actually I was crocheting in the car. I had a crochet shawl for a yarn company that I was working on, so Fargo's like a 9.5 to 10 hour drive from where we live in Illinois, and so my husband and I do split the driving, but when I wasn't driving, I was able to get a lot of crocheting done. So that was kind of nice, and it was a great visit. We always have a great time. My husband and I, we go up to Fargo a couple times a year. Yeah, usually twice. Last year I think we actually went 3 times, but we go in the spring always with like my entire family goes there. And then my husband and I have now started a tradition that we go in September to go tailgating at the North Dakota State University football game. We don't go to the game because you can't drink inside the stadium. So we go tailgate and then we go back to my brother's house and watch the game. So we had a super fun weekend. It was always so great to catch up with my brother and sister-in-law and their kids. So that was great. And then my husband and I are going to be off on another vacation here coming up in the next couple weeks. We are actually going to be going to Florida with my sister and her family and my brother-in-law's parents, and we actually are going to be going to Florida to do the Disney World Orlando stuff. I've actually never been to Florida before, therefore have never been to Disney World, so I'm very excited. Like, I think we're gonna have a good time. I'm not much of like a rides person, I keep saying, but I mean, we got our fast passes. It's like an overwhelming amount of information when you're going to Disney. I see why like people hire other people to plan their Disney vacations. I just told my sister, just whatever, just let me know where I need to be when, which is like normally not my personality. I'm usually very much like, let's make a spreadsheet. Let's like, you know, track every little thing of our vacation. And this time I'm just like, it's too much information, man. Just let me know where I need to be. So we're gonna go to, of course, Magic Kingdom. My husband and I are gonna spend a day at Epcot. We're gonna go to Universal because I need to go to Harry Potter World. So that's coming up soon. So that's very exciting. I've sort of course, haven't started thinking about what I might pack clothing wise, but I have been thinking about what I'm gonna bring craft wise, right? We all do that, I think. So yeah, that's pretty much the life stuff. So now let's get into the knitting and the crafting and whatnot. So first, whips. Last month I showed you a sock I was working on. Here's that sock. I now have a heel in my sock, and this is still the first sock. This time I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel. I hadn't done one in a while. I had been doing the German short row heel typically for my plain self-striping socks, but I don't know, I guess I just was kind of missing that Fish Lips Kiss heel. I do really like it, so you do get nice stitches in that, in your little heel turn there. So yeah, so I'm just working on this one. To remind you, the yarn is Knit Picks Felici, and the colorway is Playhouse. So I have two balls, of course. And I am going to knit these for one of my friends. She had commented that she liked the yarn. So, because you know, I have this whole pile of socks here that I keep not putting in my sock drawer. Although now it's getting to the time of year where I might actually put it in my sock drawer. But I have this whole pile of socks that are my size. So I think I'm good on hand knit socks. So I'm going to make these for my friend. So that's really the only works in progress I have knitting wise that's not like work related stuff. But I thought, like I said, I would talk a little bit about some plans that I am considering for upcoming projects. Plans. My plans involve a bunch of this. It's also Knit Picks. It's a very Knit Picks day, I guess. So this is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Superwash Bulky. And the colorway is Garnet Heather, and it is like this lovely maroon color, which I love. Like, I love to wear this color, so this is what I picked out. And what I plan to make is out of my friend Barbara Benson's book, Big Yarn, Beautiful Lace Knits. And I plan to make, I should have marked the page, but I did not. I was like mostly prepared for this video today, but not quite. Okay. It's towards the back. Here we go. It's Iguazu, I think, Falls, Iguazu Falls. I'm going with it. So it is this beautiful vest right here. And I think there's another good picture. Oh yeah, this one. And I'll go ahead and insert a couple of pictures, like full size so you can see them better here. When I saw Barbara over the summer at a trade show, she had the samples from this book, and I already knew that I probably wanted to make this, but then after I saw the sample, I said, yes, I do want to make that. So in the book, it calls for the Knit Picks Brava Bulky, which is acrylic, but I really do like this Wool of the Andes Superwash Bulky. I've used it on some shawls. I have a shawl in one of my books. In Cozy Stash Busting Knits, I did a shawl out of this yarn, I believe, and I really liked it, and so I wanted to use it for a vest for myself. So sort of my loose plans are try to maybe try to knit this so I could wear it like around Thanksgiving time. We'll see. So that's probably the next sort of like personal knitting or crochet project I'll be working on. But then even though I'm like barely knitting socks, of course, I am thinking about socks again. So I pulled out, I know I'm not randomly picking my yarn anymore, or at least right now. We've paused that for now because I haven't been knitting socks. But I did go into my stash over here and sort of look around. Also, this basket right here has all the like hand wound balls in it, and just looked around to see if I had any sort of fall or Halloween yarn. Maybe I could knit a pair of Halloween socks in October. So anyway, here's what I pulled out. So the first one's very Halloween. The colorway is Halloween. I probably have showed you this before, maybe when it came in the mail. This is from the Yarn Jar. I feel like she's on Etsy. It lists that her website is theyarnjar.com though. I'll leave links down below. I know my lighting's kind of weird in here today. But this is, just to remind you, it's Superwash Merino, Nylon, and Stellina, because it does have that sparkle in it. And it's 438 yards for 100 grams. Again, colorway is Halloween. And it came with this little like bat charm. I'm actually really terrified of bats, but that like cute bats are okay. But yeah, colorway is Halloween. So I thought this might be the perfect sock to be knitting in October. But I did pull out a couple other ones that are sort of on my radar. This one that I have is from Mustache Yarns. Colorway is Campfire. And this is how many? It's 2 50-gram skeins. This is sport weight, so this is 328 yards for 100 grams. But I thought like these would be some nice, these to me it doesn't like scream Halloween, but does scream fall. So I don't know, we'll see. And then the other one I pulled out actually is this Hamilton colorway. And this one's called History Has Its Eyes on You. And I mean, yeah, it is sort of fallish, I think, but more importantly, I'm going to see Hamilton one more time before it leaves Chicago. It's leaving Chicago in January, and so my husband and I are going in January before it leaves. So I do have a strong desire to knit a pair of Hamilton socks and then wear them to Hamilton. So these are sort of on my radar too. This is White Birch Fiber Arts. I've knit some other socks out of their yarn before, and I really like the stripes on those rainbow socks. The Nothing Says Screw You Like a Rainbow socks that like I knit like 3 pairs last year. Yeah, same company. So that's sort of what's on my radar right now. So we'll see. I probably will start the Halloween socks after I finish these other ones. Plus side of knitting socks for my friend, those Felici socks, is she has an incredibly small feet. So it's going to go much faster than my size 11 foot normally goes. But the Halloween socks, even though, again, I have like the giant pile of socks, and there's kind of Halloween socks in there, I'm definitely making the Halloween socks for myself, you know, has to be done. So that's sort of what my plans are. And then let's see, I guess I have a list here always. Well, not always, but today I do. Next up, cross stitch. Okay, so I am just going to briefly talk about the cross stitch that I've been working on a lot of different cross stitch projects, but these are the main ones that I've been working on over the last month. The first one that I have been working on is Arsenic and Old Lace by The Little Stitcher. Her patterns are available on Etsy. I will leave a link down below. I talked about this one before. So I haven't made too much progress on it. I just kind of pulled this one back out. Now that it's going to, you know, October is going to be here in just a couple days, my plan is cross stitch wise, I'm probably only going to really cross stitch Halloween stuff in the month of October. And I don't know, Arsenic and Old Lace might not necessarily be like true Halloween, but to me it's close enough. So that's how far I am. I just have like a little error over here. Was enjoying my little lace stitching so much I went a little too far over here. I need to rip that back out. But and there's like always errors in my cross stitch. Like it's just like knitting. I don't want to rip it out. So, you know, when I can just make it work, I make it work. Sometimes you can't make it work, but so yeah, that's my progress on Arsenic and Old Lace. This is a 25 count Lugana. The fabric color is Vintage Country Mocha. And I really like the 25 count. I just like how big the stitches are. So yeah, I've been enjoying that one. Arsenic and Old Lace, the little stitcher. So you can see here, I'll hold the pattern up. So I'm sort of on this lady here, so I still have this one and then all this down here. But I think it should go pretty fast because, I mean, it's lots of blocks of color, and actually the other day I only really had the outline of this done, and I filled that in that much pretty much at knit night, which knit nights now become craft night because, well, there were definitely already cross stitchers and crocheters in our group, but I think that my passion for cross stitch, my newly found passion for cross stitch, I've sort of I've been sucking my knitter friends over to the cross stitch side, so now it's craft night, so that's what I've been working on there. Okay, the next project I actually just started yesterday. This might, I don't know, this might be more like creepy Halloween. I don't know, I just thought this one was so funny. So it's a hearse and it says "Get in, loser." I don't know. And it's from the Witchy Stitcher. She is also on Etsy. I will leave a link below. I've been wanting to start this one, and I was going to wait until October 1st to start it, but I couldn't wait. And it's very simple. So I'm actually doing mine on gray. And the outline was supposed to be in white, I think. Let me look at the chart. Yeah. The outline was supposed to be in white, but I did a very light purple that I had left over from my Happy Halloween banner here. And so I just have pretty much the outline done. I just have like a little bit more to finish over here. And then this is, again, there's going to be a lot of filling in. So this I might bring with me on our upcoming trip to Florida, just because once some of those details are in, it's really just going to be like filling in a bunch of black. So that's been a fun one to work on. This is Picture This Plus fabric. I think it's 28 count. And oh wait, I can barely see the label over there. Color is Mirage, 28 count Mirage Lugana. Picture This Plus. There we go. So that's been a fun one that I just started. And then the last one actually is Christmas, but I don't know. I'm going to try to stay caught up with this, but then I don't know if in October if I'm really going to want to be reaching for it. And I don't have a photo, but it is the Caterpillar Cross Stitch Deck the Hall Stitch Along for 2019. So this is just like the first page that tells you when the release dates are. So basically every 2 weeks, they are releasing another part of the pattern. So it's like a mystery knit along, but for cross stitch. And so I had ordered the kit from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. She is in the UK, but it came with all the DMC just on this card, which was really nice. So you didn't even have to like worry about having to get your floss. I mean, you of course could just buy the pattern separately if you wanted to, but I did just get the kit since I still don't have a ton of cross stitch supplies. So a lot of times when I'm looking at patterns, I don't just have a lot of the colors just sitting around. So I did buy the kit and I did get the fabric too. This is, I think it's a 32 count. I don't actually remember, but the pattern says it's 32 count even weave. So I'm assuming that that's what this is. I mean, I don't know. I can't like look at this and tell you if it's even weave or not. I mean, I know that like then the holes are supposed to be more even than linen. So I'm going to just say it probably is. But anyway, so let me hold that up. The Build Snowman was the first part of the pattern, and that one came out on September 6th. And then just the other week on September 20th, the second part came out, which is Dress Tree. So I still just pretty much have, there's like 2 little trees that go here, and then there's like some more little snowflakes and another little like little detail thing that goes here. So pretty much every clue has like some words and then like a little like picture to stitch next to it. So that is super cute. So I'm sure that you could still get the pattern. She might still have kits available if you want the kit. I'll leave a link again down below. I had seen EJ on Sunshine Stitchers. They have a really great cross stitch YouTube channel. I think I talked about them in my last episode too. She had originally talked about this, and there is a coupon code for the kit. I don't know if it'll still work, but if you do want the kit, go over to Sunshine Stitchers, and you can get the information there about the kit and the coupon code and everything. But that's very cute. So those have been the main cross stitch things I've been working on. You know, every like once in a while, if I'm getting bored with these, I might pull out something else that I have started. But this has been like the main stuff I've been working on over the last month. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was I wanted to show you a pattern that my friend Jenny gifted me. So her and a couple of our friends had gone up to Wisconsin to go to Wisconsin Sheep and Wool. Sadly, I was in Fargo that weekend, so I didn't get to go too. But they also went to a cross stitch store while they were up there. And so my friend got me this pattern. It's from Waxing Moon Designs, and it's called Witch's Brew Pub. And I mean, this is just right up my alley. Witch's Brew Pub, pick your poison. She knows I love my craft beers. And then the bottom one says drink up witches. So these I think are pretty much stitched just in black. Well, it uses like the gentle art threads, like the sampler threads, but it's just black. So I do have a little bit of fabric sort of left over from other things. So I don't know, I might put this one into the rotation in October. This one should be pretty fast since there's no color changes and it's pretty like basic shapes and stuff, but that's going to be super cute to make too. So thanks, Jen. Now it's time to talk about books. So I have, of course, been still doing some reading over the last month. Yeah, so I feel like I've been reading a little less this month, but it's kind of like the crafting. It kind of comes and goes in waves. Like I won't read anything for like a week and a half, and then all of a sudden I'll like read 4 books in a week. Well, that's if I'm listening to them too. I'm actually kind of a slow reader. But anyway, so last month I told you I was in the middle of reading The Bride Test. I had that one checked out from the library, so I don't have it here today. I did finish that one. I think I gave that one 3 stars on Goodreads. I have a link to my Goodreads account down below if you do want to see like, you know, everything I've been reading and stuff and what I've rated everything. That one's, you know, your contemporary romance book. I, you know, called it last month a beachy read. I did enjoy it though. I will, I think that was the 2nd book in the series. I don't know how many there's going to be, but I will continue to read them. I did enjoy the first one too, The Kiss Quotient. And then, yeah, that was The Bride Test. Then I read The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo, and I loved this book so much. So I had checked that one out from the library too, and I honestly hadn't looked at it that closely before I got it from the library. I had read what it was about, you know, like on Goodreads. But so it's written in prose. The author of the book does spoken word and has done different like spoken word competitions and things like that. And so the whole book was sort of written in that format. That book was so beautiful. I am not one that like cries while I'm reading a book. There were parts where I was like crying because it was just so beautiful. Like it was just so beautifully written that it was like bringing a single dramatic tear to my eye. So that's a young adult book, and it's a really fast read because it's sort of written in prose. There's not a lot of words on most of the pages. So even though it's like a 300 and something page book, I mean, I've blasted through it. Plus it was so good, I could not put it down. So now I'm actually listening to another book by that same author called With the Fire on High, and the author actually reads the book. And so I'm currently listening to that one. That one is a little bit longer, but I've been just like listening to it, you know, like when I'm in my car, when I'm at the gym, you know, whatever. So, but I've been really enjoying that one as well. I'm sure I will have that finished in the next couple days as well. And then the next book that I'm reading, I do have because I checked it out from the library, is going a little old school here, and I am reading The Handmaid's Tale. I do like every few books to mix in, I've talked about this before, either something I read in high school, was supposed to read in high school but didn't, or like is a typical book you would read in high school, but for whatever reason I never was in a class that was like assigned that particular book. So I know a lot of people read The Handmaid's Tale in high school. We never had to read The Handmaid's Tale. I love the TV show, and the new book by Margaret Atwood has just come out and I want to read it, but I felt like even though I watched the TV show, I wanted to then read the actual book. So, of course, the only disadvantage to having watched the show and then now reading the book is that I'm imagining it everything like the TV show. It's the main character, June, like from the TV show. It's like she's reading it to me in my head. So that's like the only disadvantage. That's why I typically do like to read the book before I see the TV show or the movie or whatever. In this case, that didn't work out, but I am enjoying it. I mean, I'm not very far. I'm like 30 pages in, but I am enjoying it so far. So that's the physical book that I am currently reading. And then that's it for books right now. I have a few more checked out from the library, but I'll talk about those next month when I get to them. So finally, I'm just going to wrap it up here quick with work-related things. As far as work goes, I have been doing quite a bit of work with third-party companies, so mostly yarn companies these days. So unfortunately, you know how that goes. I can't really show you any of that. But my rainbow collection now is out in its entirety. So I've showed you these sort of in progress and stuff in the last few different coffee catch-ups. But all 3 patterns are out. This was the 3rd one. Which is just elongated garter stitch and stripes, and it might be my favorite one. I don't know. I love them all though. So I will leave links below to where you can get that. So you can either buy the ebook, which has the 3 patterns in it, which that's I think $11. So it works out to like around $3.67 a pattern if you buy the ebook, or the individual patterns are also available if you do just want one of them. So you can get them either way. But that's really it. And then I'm starting to think about doing a little sock collection. I had purchased yarn months ago to start working on this, and then you know how it goes, things just get busy, and a lot of times my self-published designs will get pushed off to the side for a third-party project, because third-party project, like, I'll just be honest, a check shows up in the mail. When you self-publish something, you literally don't know if you're going to sell one pattern or 100 patterns. You just don't know. It's just a gamble. And so a lot of times when I have the opportunity to sort of do some of that third-party work, I will take that over doing self-publishing, because it's like guaranteed money. So anyway, but I am sort of starting to think about this sock collection again, and I do have yarn for a couple other collections too, but I think that I'm going to wait until we get back from our trip and then sort of decide what's next design wise. So any of the self-published stuff that I'm working on, I of course will be showing you as I'm working on it, but that's pretty much it. So thank you everybody for tuning in today. Don't forget that I will be having a video looking at a new book in a couple weeks. There will be a giveaway in that video, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it that thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos from me, including more coffee catch-ups, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I hope that everybody has a great week and happy crafting, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.